the fun thing about writing and the not fun thing about writing is it is a lifelong journey. And the more you know, the more you realize you don't know. But one of our passions at FlourishWriters is you got to start. Like you don't become better by waiting to become better. You become better by writing and then growing as you do it. So it's one of the ways that we have to just enter into the mess and be satisfied with doing the best we can, showing up with the best we can, because showing up is the first step to growth.
If you're a writer or dreaming of writing, you're going to love my special guest today, Mindy Kiker. Mindy is co-founder of FlourishGathering and FlourishWriters with ministry partner Jenny Kochert. For those desiring to write their God story, she is a guide who helps birth the story from the heart to the page. Each year, they hold a 3-week summit, which I've been privileged to be a part of, and it's going on right now, October 6th through 31st of 2022. The conference mission is for participants to translate their message into words on a page, cultivate their unique voice, transform rough drafts into polished prose, create an author brand and marketing plan, and choose the best publishing route for their project. The link is in the show notes for the free FlourishWriters conference. So, true confession, this episode is an AOM rewind from our very first season during the FlourishWriters conference when Mindy joined me, but we've picked up many listeners since then, and I know I myself could use a refresher on how to write better. So today, here is a shortened version of Mindy's interview, and may I just say, she is just as lovely one-on-one as she is talking to a crowd. In fact, she interviewed me for this Flourish conference, talking about email tips and pain points. So be sure to grab your ticket to the conference through the link in the show notes. And now, listen in to my fun conversation with Mindy.
Welcome to Authentic Online Marketing with Ruthie Gray. Growing awareness for your blog, podcast, book, or product involves more than dancing to reels and yelling, "Buy my thing." This show models quality over clamor so you can put your spin on your message and market in a way that feels authentic to you, because nobody wants to sound like an infomercial. And now, here's your host, Ruthie Gray.
Everyone who's listening to this, to affirm their desire to be a communicator to others, that the very desire that you have a message on your heart is your qualification. It's not your degree. It's not your training. It's the message that's on your heart. So the first word I have for you, it's like the pre-tip, Ruthie. The first pre-tip is to accept that call and say yes to it. And then that gets your feet on the path, right? And yes. I was reflecting, as I was preparing for today, I was reflecting on, so what qualifies us? And I wanted to offer a little challenge to your listeners to think back through their life. What are some of the common threads that relate to the passion that they have on their heart? And as I was reflecting for myself, I thought, I was born in Tucson, Arizona, where I was often trying to communicate with people who did not speak English. They spoke Spanish. Mm-hmm. And then I moved to the big island of Hawaii. Wow, talk about complex linguistic situation there. There was a lot to learn about communicating on the big island of Hawaii as a haole girl, a little white girl, in the early 70s.
Wow.
Then I moved to South Africa. Oh, my word. Now, there are 11 official languages in South Africa, where I spoke Zulu. So the first word I wanted to learn was Giaxolisa, which means I'm sorry, because I was always putting my foot in it. So I just wanted to challenge your listeners. It's super fun to just track back through your life and see how your life circumstances have equipped you. And I think that will be a big part of your motivation and encouragement that you are called. My first real tip, Ruthie, is to be clear on your purpose. Clear on your purpose for writing. And I recommend that whatever it is you're wanting to write, some of you might be writing very short pieces. an Instagram post, a blog post, slightly longer pieces, maybe a personal essay, a devotional. You might be launching out on a book writing project. If you can capture what it is you want to say in one sentence, that is going to set the foundation for you to stay clear on what it is you're saying. So the first tip is to be clear on your purpose. And I challenge you to write one sentence that explains in nice, clear language, what is this about?
So no matter what your project is that what you're saying?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah. Small or big, you need to be clear on your purpose, because what readers don't like is to be uncertain of where you're taking them.
Right.
They're going to decide to read this or not because they've got a vested interest. You're meeting a need that they have. And that leads into point number 2 is be clear on your value. So what value are you wanting to give to your reader by writing this?
Mm-hmm.
And oftentimes new writers come where their purpose and their value is to talk about themselves.
Yes.
No. Your readers they're reading what you have to say because they are looking for something for themselves.
Preach it, sister. This is what I tell my people all the time. I just got off a Zoom with my pro membership Instagram group. And I was like, if you want more interaction on your posts, make it about them. Stop throwing your words out there and just it's almost like you're throwing up on people. What are they going to say to that? It's got to relate to them. So you said, number 1, be clear on your purpose. And this can apply to every blog post, everything, Instagram caption, every Facebook post, whatever, but be clear on it. And then number 2 was, how does it bring value to them, right?
Yep. Be clear on your value.
Okay.
And it's not about you. It's about them.
Yes.
So you got to be channeling. What is it my reader needs? What is keeping them up at night? What is eating their lunch? That's what you're talking to. And
yes.
I recommend that you hook them in. You've got to have a hook. Everybody's trolling and scrolling, and what's going to catch them? Humor is amazing. A little bit of making fun of yourself, that self-deprecation.
Yes.
Not to overdo that, but people like to have you show up as an imperfect person you're competent and you're successful in what you're offering, but you're also humble, approachable, and just fun. Ruthie, you do that so well. We think you're tons of fun, but you're also super skilled.
Oh, thank you. Well, I'm trying to show people that I know what it's like to be in their shoes. I am an imperfect person, and that's what people want to see. Like you just said, I've got all these flaws, and people relate to that. That's what people want. They don't want to follow somebody that's got it all together.
No. Amen. So we're preaching to each other. So my first tip is be clear on your purpose. Get that one sentence. That becomes your guideline so that you don't get off track into bunny trails. I always say banish the bunny trails. Number 2 is be clear on your value. People want to be able to connect with you. You've got to have something to hook them in, to see you as a real person who has something of tremendous value to give them. And you do. That's my affirmation to you. You do.
Yeah.
And number 3 is use clear language. For the love of all that is beautiful, please don't mess it up with complicated sentences, complicated language. We always talk about being concrete, not abstract, and being specific, not general. So you can make a general statement, but then you better follow it up with a nice, specific, concrete example. So that's what I'm going to do right now with one of my little Instagram posts. You can judge the quality of it. I'm not saying it's my best one, but it has an example that I like because I'm super big on analogies and word pictures. People love word pictures. Mm-hmm. They take your abstract concepts, this big thing you're feeling, this big thing you want to communicate, and it puts it into a relatable picture, experience, something that people can latch onto, and they remember your analogies. You're wanting everything you put out, you're wanting it to be sticky, right? Yes. They're reading how many thousands of words a day. You want your words to stick, that when they go to bed at night and they put their head on the pillow, they're like, dang, I love what she said today.
Yes.
Right?
Oh, yes.
Yes. So here's an example for my son's 20th birthday. I said, we celebrate often. One way to extend a birthday is the last day of festivities, the day before the big day. Milestones create rock cairns, making a turn in the trail, calling to others. I paused here on my journey, adding my piece to all who passed before, making the way for others. We paused last night to place a stone on the Kiker family cairn by celebrating our firstborn's last day of 19. This mama has swirling, sweet, and salty feelings. It's like sailing in strong winds, thrilling and terrifying, requiring not only skill, but also submission to the forces of nature. My face drips with salt water. I laugh, I weep, I grasp the ropes, but not too tight. Harness the wind, respect its strength. Salt water stings, but it also heals. If you've placed a stone on this cairn or sailed these waters, what words of wisdom can you share? P.S. Was that too many metaphors in one small space? Big feelings make more sense as word pictures.
I love that, because you've painted all these pictures, and at the end, you asked their advice.
Yes. And people love to share their advice. I don't have all the answers. I'm not the expert in all these things. I'm where I am in my life journey. I want my community to rally around me and say, like, their journey and my journey fits together so beautifully. I need them and they need me.
I can't say yes enough and amen. We have got to figure out the connection between our passion and the person that we're talking to. And that is by the middle bridge. Number 2 is delivering the value.
Yeah, you want them to feel like whatever you post, whatever you email, whatever product you come out with, oh, I know this is going to be good. I'm going to stop scrolling, because whenever Ruthie speaks, whenever Mindy speaks, it's something that I want to know about. Even if it's just musings on life, you got to throw in just that fun value stuff in amongst the kind of teachy stuff, maybe the heavier stuff, but mix it all up just with life in all its dynamism.
You have summed up perfectly. This is what works. It works. To sum up what Mindy shared with us today, here's the pre-tip. Accept the call to write. Stop resisting. Own the call. It's yours. And then the 3 tips she gave. Number 1, be clear on your purpose for any piece of content that you write. Number 2, be clear on your value. Deliver value that will help the person reading. And number 3, be clear with your language. Make it so easy a 5th grader can read it. You have a message someone needs to hear, but remember, every time you write, be clear and deliver value. So many times we complicate the message by too many words. Sometimes we just need to simplify. Most of the time, actually, we need to do this. So I hope you'll join us for the Flourish Writers Conference happening October 6th through 31st, 2022. Pick up your free ticket and join us. Thanks for listening today. Join us next week, and remember to share your clear message in a valuable way in your own authentic voice.